Welcome back to a Cetera podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along with my co-host, Mark. How you doing, sir? What's poppin', slime? How you feeling? Blessed is what we like to hear,
How
son.
are you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm fantastic. The thing is, though, I was doing good. Life was good. And then something very serious, very crucial, very upsetting came across my desk. And I want to talk to you about it today, Mark. I don't know if you have something you want to talk about, but this is going to take up the majority of the time, I'm assuming. So I want you to get your air out first.
Okay. I was just going to bring up some things that I've seen over the week.
All right, let us know.
I guess I'll make one thing last. But yeah, have you seen just how insane this fog is in Philly?
The fog in general has just been wild. I like, even up by me, because it's a lot more tree and like flatness, you could see how thick it is from a distance, and you can't really see. And then there was a baby deer on the side of the road when I drove past, and I was like, yo, if like it took me to be 2 inches from it to see it. If it would have hopped out,
would have just went straight into the street.
It would have went straight onto the street, walked off, and my car would have been totaled.
Yep. Yeah, I was literally sitting there like, I forget when it was. I think it had to be night because that's when you see it and seen it a lot. But like morning time that day when it happened, because it was like for 2 days straight, really. I went off going to work on 95, and I was just like, yo, like, why is it this foggy right now?
Right.
Like for no reason. And I was like, it's kind of crazy. Then later that day, I felt like it probably cleared up. It wasn't until like yesterday where literally I went out at night and I was like, yo, what is going on? Am I in like a horror game right now? Like I feel like I'm gonna just see people coming like from down the street just in the middle of the street. I'm like, yeah, bro, nah, this ain't it. Then I was driving. I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm driving like Gotham right now. Like anything could happen. Batman just pops up out of nowhere and just
you accidentally just like run a red light / yellow light, and then Batman hops in the hood of your car.
Over and I'm just like, I get pulled off the window, just fly. Justice.
Now talk.
What did I do? But yeah, that joint was crazy.
You were going 40 and a 35.
You're worse than the cops.
Yeah.
I know. Now I'm going to break all your bones.
The cops fight for justice. I am justice.
Yeah. Yeah, that joint was just wild. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon again. But
it might happen on my way home. I'm not going to lie to you.
Probably. But I think it's done. But yeah, another thing I want to bring up, I know it kind of got some internet fame. I'm pretty sure you saw it too. I sent it actually for the movie Dune that's coming up.
Dune 2, the popcorn box that like the fleshlight.
Yeah, it looks like a flesh. Yo, you know what's funny though is that when I saw that on my feed, I was like, oh snaps, like Dune 2, because I watched the first one and I'm like, yo, I really can't wait for this second one to come out. And when I saw that, I was just like kind of hyped because it just makes you feel like, okay, it's getting close to that time where it's about to release again. But then I kind of really looked at what that was, and I was just like, at first I forgot, like I didn't know what it was because I saw the first one, but I just completely just kind of like didn't know what the heck they were going for right here. I was like, what is this? Then I was just like, oh, okay, I think I see what they're going for, the worm, whatever. I was like, all right, that's cool. But then I really looked at it and I was just like, yo, like, did y'all really?
Y'all sat in the boardroom and none of this ever came up to none of y'all. Like,
and I know it's not just like two guys there, you know, like it's a full room. So
it's like a desk that can like seat like 20 people are all in a circle. Like,
and I'm just sitting here like, not one of y'all had that thought in your head, like
everybody's mature here. Nobody's childish in this.
Like, yeah, like
I would have been the first one. Like,
yeah, like so we're all good. We're all good launching this. No,
maybe nobody wanted to be the guy to like, or like person to like bring it up, you know, because like, what does Tom get into when he's not at work that made him think of this immediately? Like
exactly. So yeah, I'm just like, I don't know how that kind of.
Or it was intentional. They knew what they were doing. They're like, yo, people are gonna post about it. Want to go get the fleshlight popcorn thing? It's gonna become a TikTok trend. Then more people see the movie, and then the box office hit.
I mean, hey,
everything's marketing these days. Everything's intentional. So
that's the funny thing about it though too is that like. We will never know, but in my head, I'm just always like, they won't ever say it.
No, they can't.
But it's like, that was their purpose.
Yeah.
You know? So in my head, I'm like, yeah.
Because it looks like the thing from the movie, and it also looks like something that you can put your privates into.
Males.
Win-win. Somebody's going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to, I mean, it looks pretty just like.
If it's like straight up plastic, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt.
Because like there's this thing, I don't know if you've ever seen it before, Not a fleshlight. That's not where I was going with
I
this.
was like, Vic,
I'm like, are you familiar with a No,
so let me tell you about this product like that.
there's a product
on the TikTok shop
that looks it's like a cup, but it's meant to clean like your pet's paws. And it looks very similar. It has like the little
like go like that.
Yeah,
the dirt and stuff off them. Yeah.
So it looks like that to me. That's what I thought of because it has the little. I don't know if you saw like the inside part of it has like the little
bristles. I guess
bristles. Yeah. So that's where my head went.
Yeah.
I like, it looks all like that because I have one for Zoe. It doesn't work because her paws are miniature. But I bought like the smallest size and it was still too big for her paws. So
dang it, Zoe.
If you ever get a big dog, I'll hand it over to you because it's brand new.
Gotcha.
Q has Cruella. It's not fitting her either.
So that just kind of was something very awkward, I guess, seeing. But it was just funny because, like I said, I thought about it, but I was just like, maybe it's just me. And then the internet came around. They were just like, yeah, this is something that it wasn't not just me. And everybody was just making jokes about it. Like, oh, babe, what's wrong? You haven't touched, you haven't, you're doing popcorn. I'm like, yo, they're drawing.
Somebody tweeted it was like, y'all already know I'm about to be doomed to it. I was like, damn. That was good.
Drawing. Imagine you just go there, just get the cup and just leave.
You could do that though. I thought like you could just ask for the thing and then like dip. I went to see Cowboy Bebop the other day in theaters and I was just like, I know what's it called? Mean Girls, the new one. There's a musical is like in the theaters and they had a popcorn thing too for them, but it was the burn book. So it was a metal tin for the burn book, and you open it, and like the book is get filled with popcorn. And I was like, it's kind of dope, but I didn't see that they had it there. Because sometimes it's weird. Sometimes it's like an AMC only thing or like a Regal only thing. I went to a Regal. I wasn't sure if they had it, so I just let it slide. And then like Q has the Spider-Gwen helmet, John, from the animated Spider-Verse one. I forgot about that he even had it, and I wanted the Miles Morales one, but I didn't go get it. What else? I saw one. It was like $50 though. When the last Fast and Furious movie came out, they had like Dom Toretto's car as like a popcorn thing.
I thought you were going to say his head.
No, that'd be terrifying. What would that even look like?
I don't know, bro. But I was low key thinking, yo, that's what it is. And they just got it up to his shoulders, so you know he has.
It's like his body. But no, it's like it was his car, and then I think you like open like the hood or something. It's like fills with popcorn.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I wish they had one for Boy and the Heron. It would have been cool.
Yeah,
but I guess it wasn't.
A little indie John, you know. Well, it's not little, but like to other people,
it's not as pop.
Not yet.
It's like people know about it, but it's not mainstream. Like it's like if you know about it, you know about it.
Bro, it's not even that it's not mainstream. People are just so like insecure and weird to just be like, I like this type of stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
not as much as it used to be, but like now it's a little bit easier. Like even so, I took the poster I showed y'all that I framed it right, and I put it like to the right of my desk. My mom came in one day. She was like, "Oh, like that was nice. Like, where'd you get that?" And I was just like, "Oh, I went to go see this movie." She's like, "Oh, I don't know what that is." I was like, I didn't expect you to." She's like, "It kind of looks like you." And I'm like, "All right, thank you."
That boy has like so much more hair.
Yeah. I still randomly think about how he just like bashed his head open, but like that's besides the point.
That man literally went 0 to 100. My man said, "I'm not going to school."
But like they could have did the little floaty things and like made it a popcorn jump. That would have been cute.
The Wada Wadas?
Yeah. That'd have been cute.
Those guys. Yeah.
Or Robert Pattinson's character, the fucking seagull. Or the heron, I should be saying.
No. Oh, yeah. Well, no, he was
the heron.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was Willem Dafoe that was a different character.
That was the freaking, whatchamacallit. I was so creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dune 2. With their...
It's coming out soon, right? Like in a month or something?
March 1st, I think, is when it's coming out. Can't wait to see it. But yeah, Dune 2. So if y'all are in the market to watch something and also have a good time,
if you're in the market for a flashlight,
and looking to have a good time, and by good time I don't mean by going to the movie to watch it. Just afterwards, then you're in the right place to go and get that popcorn box.
Because people were making the joke too that like there's always that old. I don't think anybody's ever. I mean, maybe like one or two people have like the whole thing of like putting a hole at the bottom of the popcorn and like somebody reaches in and then like your penis is in it. Somebody saying like since it's so covered, like you could do that so much easier now. But it's like, who's cutting off? Is it from what I was looking at? It looks like it's just a regular popcorn thing, but the top is the Dune thing. So is it the bottom just cardboard? Like that's kind of ass. Like you might as well just make the whole thing.
I think it's from my knowledge when I looked at it, it looked like it was like fully plastic.
Yeah, because like the Spider-Gwen like the Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales one, like it's their head, but it's all plastic.
Yeah, to me, I just think it's like
I would hope they would do that,
and they just put a lid on top of it. So I'm like, I don't think it's possible with that. But hey, people are gonna get creative.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring in their little
Bro, that's so wild to me. Like,
exactly. And I just think
I can't believe anybody
too,
ever did that.
Yeah, and to my thing, like thinking about it, I'm like, bro, like, this is me. Say if I was to do that, right? I would have to go with the intention of watching something that is not interesting, because I would sit there immediately and just be paying attention to that the whole time.
Like, yo, stop.
right.
Stop.
Next thing you know, what I'm watching, we finally get to the bottom of the bag, and I'm just like, yo, what the? And I'm like, oh, I forgot. Like, I just left it there and forgot the whole time. I'm like, yo, don't do that. She's like, what? Nothing. Stop. Just like, give me a second. But yeah, nah. Just that's something that concept was always wild to me.
The world's too horny. You know what? I don't know if I don't think you saw it, but like I posted clips of our last episode where we talked about the medium and like the guy who had sex with the medium and like saw the grandma. I posted a bunch of clips on it. People were really upset with us.
Why?
Like people were in our comments was saying like, "Oh, this is disgusting. This is abhorrent. What if kids are on here? This is like so sexual. I'm tired of this sexual ass world." And I was just like, "Yo, like pipe down." I was like, one, every video that I put out of ours, I put that it's not tailored for kids, because if we put it as for kids, then the comments are turned off, and I don't want that. So I put that in every video. And B, YouTube Kids exists. If you have a problem with your kids seeing something that they're not supposed to be seeing, make them use YouTube Kids or put parental controls on. So I don't know what the fuck the problem is, but everybody was just being so like condescending in the comments.
Jimmy's just like,
yeah, like, and we weren't even saying anything wild. I didn't like. All I said was like eating her out in the because which is what the guy said in the story, and that's really the only. And I said in between her legs. That's the only thing. And
it can mean anything.
That not even that, but it's like to a kid. Unless they know what that means, which means if they know what it means, they've already heard it before. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like if they've never heard this stuff before, then they're not gonna know what I'm talking about. So I don't get what the fucking problem is. Yeah. And then I told some people, they were like really getting upset. I was like, yo, like I explained everything that I just said to you, and they were still like, oh, I'm just so tired of this like fucking horny ass world. Da 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 da. Like and he reported our videos. I reported and blocked you guys. Like all this other shit. And then I do what I always do on any time that somebody's snapping like this. Because like you really got to be miserable as fuck to be this angry. Unless we said something really offensive, which I know for a fact we did not. Like this, and in our freaking age gap, like our fucking audience is like 18 to 25 majority, and then like 25 to 35. And then the rest it just tails off like below or over. So I know it's mostly adults that see our stuff anyway. But he was just so butthurt, and I'm like, if you have to be this upset, something's going on. So I was like, I do the same thing with everybody who gets mad at us for no reason at all. I'm just like, yo, like I understand. We welcome all comments, negative or positive, and constructive criticism. I hope you get through whatever you're going through. And then the response every time is like, yeah, like I've really been going through a hard time. It's not on y'all. Every time, bro. Every time they snap on us, I'm like, yo, I hope you get through whatever you're going through because you're so upset. And they're like, yo, like I've really been going through it. Like, thank you. Like it's nothing against y'all. It's always like that, and it blows my mind. But it makes sense though, because you could only be miserable to have that kind of reaction. I've never been that upset about anything I've ever seen on the internet to try to reply to it.
Yeah. We're also just a therapeutic place for people to let out their emotions.
To just laugh. And sex is normal, bro. It's not like we said like, yo, she in a row, like, like sloppy toppy, like nothing crazy. Like, like it's never on that type of time, because we know we have friends and family that also will stumble across this as well. So like we don't draw, like we try to keep it clean as we can. And
I just think for the most part, like you said, we try to keep it as clean as we can. And like, there's just thousands and thousands of like worse stuff out there.
That was my thing too. Like I was like, yo, is this your first day on the internet? Because you go on YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or TikTok or anything, there's like borderline sexual shit for everything. Yeah. Whether it's not intentional or like it is intentional, where it's like a girl will be half naked, like fucking cooking, and then they'll just be like purposely be like, yay, we made cookies. It's that type shit, which happens, bro. Like I'm not trying to be funny. It genuinely happens.
It does. That's the thing that's crazy. Like,
or on the flip side, there are guys who'll be like, oh, I'm gonna bake this, or I'm gonna do pottery, and then they'll just like mold this thing that looks like a penis a little bit, and then like smash it, or they'll build it again, then like stroke it a little bit,
and they'll look at the camera.
Yeah, or they'll like spit on it. Like, yo, this is shit that actually happens, and it's an idea that I had that I want to do for us for our first reaction video, because there's videos out there that exist, not for us to do it. I'm saying to react to these videos because they're real. I'm not gonna make you stroke clay.
Yo, bro, I don't know. You came out there with that kind of fast. I thought you were just doing that to try to see if I agree fast. Or he's like, yeah, so we're gonna do that, right? Okay. And anyway, I'm like, whoa.
Or there's like the one guy who's really popular who like chops wood in the back of his house, but he does it with like suspenders and like a t-shirt on. But every time he does it, he like moans and like talks to the wood that he's chopping. You never seen this before? He'll like chop it. He's like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, stay right there. Stay right there. And then
open your mouth.
Yeah, basically. And then he's like, yeah, like good girl. It's like, whoa, bro, like this is lumber we're talking about. And then there's a bunch of like middle-aged white women in the comments like, oh, like this is so hot. Like I can't, like this is, oh my God, I can't watch this. Like you're so handsome. It's like type shit like that. It's like, bro, chill. But you never hear the weird excuses like that for that type of shit.
I feel like it all just comes with popularity. I don't know how well the person who like is in charge of those comments for those things or other things in general. But I feel like, again, with the popularity thing, it really just comes to like all of those negative or just the ones that are just like kind of like offended usually just get washed out because of all the other comments.
That's what I was gonna say too. I was like, they're so popular that a lot of that shit just get like washed out. Like
those other ones get liked and they just end up getting higher and overseen more than the other ones.
Because even like for us, especially now since we're not at a point where we have like thousands upon thousands of comments, I reply to every single one, regardless if it's like just an emoji or something. Like I just always respond just to show love and like appreciate the fact that people interacted with it.
Yeah.
But so I see everything. So that's, I guess it's kind of different for me, and I get notified every time we get one. But for those guys, they probably have like hundreds of thousands of comments, and the top like ones are going to remain at the top, especially for a certain platform. So it is true what you're saying. But yeah, it's real shit. It's like, yo, like if we were trying to clickbait or like, we don't do any of that ever. Like everything that y'all watch of ours is just genuinely just comes as you see it. Like,
yep.
So y'all get mad at the wrong people. Report the people that's like fingering fruit, bro. That's another thing too. You seen those?
I feel like I definitely.
They'll cut like a pomegranate and then just like and like pour honey on it and then just. Like, bro, like
I could not imagine myself sitting in my house being like, all right, I have one shot at this.
Yeah.
I'll make it as sexual as possible. Like, that's
bro,
strong.
I'm telling you, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna prepare some videos for us and we're gonna watch them. We're not doing it ourselves.
Yo, I'm sorry, but you keep catching me off guard, bro.
We are going to react to them because we promised the people that we're gonna do reaction videos this year.
Yeah. I'm like, who's this we?
And we're not the first ones to do it. Some people have reacted to it as well. I'll put that out there. Yeah. And even then, at the end of the day, even though y'all get upset, please keep on getting upset because that video on its own got like 8,000 views and like 100 plus comments. So if y'all want to argue, let's argue. Anywho, what else did you want to?
I mean, that's about fine. I think we're getting to that point where I want to like make sure you have your time.
Yeah. I'll be able to consult in a good amount of time. We got about 13 minutes and some shit.
Kind of about like 13 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, outside of that, what I was talking about earlier that came across my desk that was very upsetting is the whole situation with the WWE and the lawsuit that's come out against them.
Wait, the lawsuit
against Vince McMahon.
Okay, I was gonna say just making sure.
Yeah.
Like the whole organization. I was like, I didn't hear about that, but I heard
well, technically, he's was their biggest shareholder. Now he dropped out because of the situation, but it is
just first of all, hearing that just makes me already believe like if you really didn't, there was no reason. This man was quick. It was like next.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm out.
But for y'all that don't know, Vicente Mahon, other known as Vince McMahon.
I was like, who?
I don't know what happened after he turned like 70. He started looking a little Mexican because he started like growing like a black mustache and like dyed it. Gotcha. So we're calling him Vicente Mahon. Okay. Vince McMahon, the face of the WWE, the creator, the man who's been like pulling the strings ever since this came out like 40 years ago. He received another SA lawsuit just because of YouTube. He was being naughty to a former employee of the WWE. Her name was, I'll have it written down here. I want to make sure that I get it correct in the first time and do her due diligence. Janelle Grant. Janelle Grant was a former WWE employee. She came to him around 2019. They lived in the same building or something like that. The woman that, before she worked there, she was unemployed, was living in the same building as Vince McMahon. Gotcha. Apparently her parents had passed away like prior to all this, just giving proper backstory. She wasn't working. They had a lot of debt. She was looking for a job. She talked to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was like, I'll give you a job, but I'll only give you a job if you let me yamin. And that's where things started. So from my understanding, at least from like the articles that I've read, she gave into it to a certain extent, which I guess led to her having the job. And she worked there from 2019 up until a year ago or two. And the lawsuit came out. Along with the lawsuit, text messages came out, which were wild. I don't know if you've seen them. I pulled them up hoping that I would read them here, but like they're really fucking creepy as shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I don't feel comfortable like reading it out loud, especially after what I just talked about with people being upset with the stuff that we're saying. Let's just say it's a lot of BBCs getting named and like a lot of like group sex and a lot of just body parts and stuff. Like he just got really weird. Like it was like, a lot of emphasis on things is like, yo, like Vince, like, are you good? Like,
that's wild.
Yeah. I will talk about it in detail after we get it done here.
Yeah.
But the lawsuit came out. A lot of text messages got released. There are other people's named.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Is he just himself? Just like obviously, just like I feel like a lot of this stuff shouldn't be a surprise as to why I'm saying this, because like even before this came out, like
yeah, so like
I
even
had my questionable stuff about
obviously
this
like he's always been a divisive person in general, and also as we got older and seeing what the WWE used to be up until now, like even as kids we were like, yo, like this is drawn. Like why you got like lingerie matches happening on stage for like something that's meant for kids and like adults or whatever.
Not even that.
What?
When he would go and pull his pants down.
Yeah, and like make people kiss his ass. And then my most memorable one is when he accused Shawn Michaels of like being on steroids or something during like the DX generation, and he like got him kicked out of the WWE for a little bit, and he made him go on stage in the ring and like pee into a cup and get drug tested in front of everybody. And Shawn Michaels was like, you know, it's better than being pissed off, pissed on. He throws his piss on Vince McMahon. That was another thing. Yeah. Very divisive guy, very weird shit, weird vibes. He used to drop N-bombs on the show, and like he was on steroids and like coke and shit and all jacked up, and just was very misogynistic in the show, very racist in other parts of the show. But it was the early 2000s, so people allowed it. It was a different time. Not saying that it's okay, but it's just the times that they were working in.
Yep.
So it doesn't come to a surprise that these allegations have come out. I damn near assumed without actually having concrete evidence that something of this form was happening. So he's being sued for sex trafficking and assault with himself and another guy who works there by the name of, it sounds familiar to,
it's Johnson.
His name is John, but it's not Cena. That I swore I wrote it down. John something. Damn, where'd it go? Oh well, it is what it is. If I remember it, I'll put it on screen or something. It was a very difficult name to pronounce, and that's why I'm trying to look it up. But another guy who's another high-ranking guy at WWE, who's also like in on the sexual stuff that was going on. He also tried to like essentially use her to entice employees at WWE to like either resign or like stay at the company. There were some text messages that he was like, "Oh, I went around the office to the tech team and was like, oh, like I told them that you would sleep with all of them whenever they wanted, and like yeah, they said that they'll set it up for this day this week, like just weird shit." There was also in the lawsuit that he asked her to basically sleep with a unnamed WWE wrestler who also worked in the UFC, to send him photos or something and like sleep with him to get him to re-sign back with the WWE. Now there's only two very prominent WWE/UFC stars. One of them is CM Punk. He lost both his fights. He's not a UFC star, so we're canceling him out, and he's still with the UFC. I mean, with the WWE. The other guy was a UFC champion and also worked in WWE as Brock Lesnar. So his name wasn't put out there, but everybody's kind of like, yo, it's Brock Lesnar. Because those are the only two names when you think of WWE and UFC, and Brock Lesnar was the biggest one. And he left WWE for a period of time, so it only makes sense that's why he wanted him to get him back. In the past 5 years when you think about it, because it's between 2019 and now. So it's not looking good for Brock. And he was also supposed to make an appearance, I believe tonight, at Royal Rumble, which is tonight that we're filming this. So it just makes shit more awkward. And in this week span before this all came out, I'm also thinking this was also done around this time intentionally. Not saying that she like would have never did it, but in this past week I've seen a lot of headlines just on the WWE alone, within them signing a $5 billion contract with Netflix to stream Monday Night Raw. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson joining the board of directors of TKO, which is the parent company of UFC and WWE. The NCAA Big 12, which is a conference in the football and basketball as well, but this was for football specifically. Whoever won the championship this year got a custom WWE belt for being the MVP of the game. Wow. So there's just a lot of names, a lot of people getting tied into this shit. There's also, it's like, all right, cool, you guys are at a peak in the news. Let me just drop this to fuck everything up for you guys, which is a smart thing to do because it's going to throw them off. Vince McMahon was also sued between July and November of 2022 for another SEX assault case. During that time, that's the first time he stepped down, and it made big news because he was like never did that before. And then in 2022, because of the lawsuit, he backed out to protect his shares in the company and protect the company, because if he's tied into it and he loses the lawsuit, then she gets entitled to portion of WWE and like all the shares and shit. So that's what's happening now. My assumption is he just dropped out because of this lawsuit. Depending on the result of whatever this lawsuit is, he might come back.
Yeah.
Which is just, again, it's just to protect the assets of the company. But it's just very shitty because like I would be so shocked if he didn't do these things. Like it's damn near like I'm like, yo, like let's just speed up the court and like
more so shocked if he didn't, but like if he has good lawyers, it's more so like we feel like we still know he just somehow got away with it.
Oh no, unfortunately he's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
He just has he has too much money to go to jail.
Yeah.
My hope, at least in the result of all this, is that she gets compensated properly for it. Not that it makes anything go away, because there's still a lot of trauma and shit that comes with that.
Yeah.
But at least I want her to be okay in the end of it. Because not to like assume, but like I'm like, bro, like, do we really need to have a whole court case? Like, look at this guy's track record.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not looking good for him.
Without even having everybody in the courtroom.
I know.
To do something
yeah. I know innocent to proven guilty, but like just looking at this guy, it's like I know he's done something that's not along the lines of the law.
Yeah.
Whether it's drugs or steroids or
something, bro.
Workplace violence or workplace misconduct,
with like a lot of stuff. And my thing is just going back to everything. I'm just like, bro, like I could never say anything, but I know in my heart I would never. It's just getting to that point in life, like, bro, money is just so dangerous because it's just like, bro, I could never picture myself doing something like that. Like,
yeah, and
you haven't showed me any of those things, but I could only imagine just off of the stuff you said. And I'm just like, bro, I could never just be like sitting there going like this on my phone and being like, yeah, send.
Yeah.
Like, bro, no, that's wild. Like,
I think there's just like a certain high of power to think that you'll never get caught. To just write it out in text, bro, under your phone number and something that can be tracked.
Maybe if we're like in the 1900s or some 1800s, we doing letters. Like, okay, that joint can probably be burned, ripped. There's only one copy, but these joints are in receipts. These joints are in phones that are stored like
multiple copies, like iCloud exists, all this other shit. Like there's proof everywhere. And you can call the phone company and it'll get tracked back to your phone or whatever it may be.
So I'm just thinking
you can't say your cousin took your phone. You can't do none of that.
Exactly. So that's why I'm just like, bro, I could never just sit there and be like, yo, like this was a good idea. Like, terrible.
Yeah, like I want to show you those text messages after this because, like, and if y'all want to see them yourselves, go look them up. But like, they're really bad. Like, I just didn't feel comfortable reading them here. Like, it's just very, very shitty. And it's like that in and of itself. Like, she could have just walked up with that and be like, all right, case closed, like guilty, like, because like, does that even something that like requires jail time really? Like, I don't know what the ramifications of that kind of stuff is. I mean, I guess the sex trafficking part absolutely is.
That's what I'm saying. It has,
but the text messages part.
Well, it would be that, and then like I guess that will kind of just give more evidence. I don't think it does.
Yeah, cause that's just proof of like sexual misconduct.
Yeah,
but like the sex trafficking part and like her having all that other stuff, like how do you prove that and like convict him of that? I'm just saying in the lines of the law, like it's a tough situation. And that's where his money comes in and like his influence and shit. So it's like it's a tough situation. That's why it's very difficult for people to come out with that kind of stuff because it's like. And it's not. She wasn't a WWE star either. Like she never. She was somebody who worked at the headquarters, and I believe it's like in Connecticut. Like she works like the office part of it, like the marketing or whatever. I don't know what her role was, but like she worked like a desk job at WWE headquarters. Not like her being in the ring or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's like a popular face. So it also makes it difficult because if somebody there's like a known star, maybe you can be like easier to make that pull because like public influence. I don't know, man. It's just really unfortunate. And then, I mean, I haven't watched WWE in a serious sense in like 15 years.
Yeah, no.
But it's just unfortunate because, like, even back then I knew this shit was bad. But it was entertaining because I was a kid and I didn't know any better. And I just, in my head it was all fake. Yeah, as much as I would like to think at least the stars, some of them were cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was telling Q, I'm like, this man was writing up the script for WWE based on his own life this whole time. Like, it could have said it was like all the times he was just like, oh, you were right. I was like, all that shit. Like, bro, that's you. Like, you're the.
What happened this week that I can make into this? Almost did.
Like, I just and I feel like it would be. I feel like it'd be so much easier to go through because I know there's so many divas and like other wrestlers that could say like, or what they could just call them stars now. I forgot. I think they got rid of the term diva. But like WWE wrestlers, the women wrestlers would come out and just be like, yeah, bro, like he's a fucking weirdo. Like I feel like every single one of them could easily come out and say have a story about him.
I'm pretty sure they will.
A text message or
pretty
something.
Sure somebody will.
And one part I remember saying in the text messages was like he discussed like him saying like, oh, like you're gonna sleep with this guy and you're gonna sleep with this guy. And then some of it gets cut out, I guess. Like there's all screenshots, so I don't know what part came first or whatever. But he basically says like, oh, like some people could lose their job if you don't da-da-da-da. Like basically hanging her, like saying like if you don't have sex with these people, you're gonna lose your job type shit.
Wow.
It was super corny. But I wish her the best. Hopefully she gets properly situated and justice goes to where it needs to be done and all that shit. Cause it's just ass, bro. Why can't like I tell myself that money would never make me become that person. I pray that it never does if I am ever blessed to have that much power and influence. So like I could hope that I can sustain my moral compass that I have now, but you never like who's to say like he could have been a regular ass guy too, and then money and power gets to him. He feels like he's on top of the world, thinks he can get away with everything. Like
or maybe sometimes
shit changes people.
Sometimes it's not even like the money that did it himself. Like maybe there was just somebody even higher up than him that kind of like influenced him to think like this is okay, and then that's when he ended up doing some stuff like that. So
steroids and drugs and power and being worth millions and having whatever you want. Because bro, like you're 73, bro. Like why are you trying to like? Why don't you just have like a 70-year-old wife and like be happy that you have somebody that like rides with you and loves you and like ain't that enough, bro? Why you got to be banging like 20-year-olds still? Like you don't feel weird? I'm 25 and I feel weird messing with somebody like significantly younger than me now. Like,
I don't know. I think it's just that whole idea. Like you said, like to them, it's like that's not enough. You know, like they need more. They want to feel like they're still in that prime age, or like at
that
a
power thing,
or at a young age. This is just how their life kind of has been. So they never felt a reason to switch it up. They're just like, oh, well, nothing bad has come from this, so let me just keep riding it out. Well, I'm sorry, buddy. It's kind of it's your time now.
I also want to add, I'm 25. When I say significantly younger, I mean like 5 years younger than me. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not talking about like underage people. I'm young, so I got to put that out there. You know?
Yes, definitely.
That's just weird to me. But yeah, bro. Fuck Vince McMahon, Vicente Mahon.
Yep.
And his die and his coke addiction and.
I mean, hey, bro, I thought that guy was gone when they blew up his limo.
Bro, I think
all of us.
I thought he was gone.
Young me was like, bro, it's a wrap.
That and when like Randy Orton and John Cena were fighting at like I think one of their cribs and like
they were
like breaking glass and shit.
Yeah, bro. I was just like surprised myself when I saw that the very first time. I'm like, bro, this is wild. Like, I thought that man checked. I was like, yo, we're just going home and I'm going to sleep knowing that like this man is dead.
He just caught a body on live TV.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, what's going on?
But yeah, we out of time though, so we're gonna hop up out of here. Mark, can you close us out because my camera's not working right now?
Yeah, no problem. Hope you guys enjoyed. You can catch me, Mark, Instagram, ETC Marky Mark, Twitter, and Marky Mark. Victor, where can they find you?
You know where they can find me. You're gonna have to do all of this.
You can find Victor, ETC Victor on all socials. You can find us on YouTube at Real Etc. You can find us. Email is realetc@gmail.com.
There's a dot in between there.
real.etc@gmail.com. Let's go. Anything else? Any type of?
No,
all the platforms.
Just tell them you love them and see them later.
You know, and we love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. A lot more content, as you heard. We're gonna be trying to do a reaction, so look out for that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed again. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.